Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, coming at you with what I'm rebranding because I think it's more appropriate is as a team building series with specific Pokemon. So the format's going to be the same. I'm going to talk about a Pokemon. I talk about its strengths and weaknesses against the meta. I'm going to go through a PvP Poke analysis, and then I give you three teams. I think it's more accurate to call it like a team building series with specific Pokemon because like I was just thinking about this, like a how-to series is more like if you're in certain matchups, how to like work around it, as opposed to this one, which is really like, okay, I have this Pokemon. How can I successfully create teams to use it in GBL? So that's what I'm going to do. Today we are talking about Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen is an interesting one because it was, obviously for those of you who don't know history, this was non-existent Pokemon, and then Poison Jab and Poison Fang both got buffs. And suddenly Nidoqueen became from irrelevant to meta real fast. So its strength is, in my opinion, in the shadow as well. I've noticed a lot. So what I've noticed in doing this series is a lot of Pokemon benefit from the shadow more in Great League than they do Ultra League. And I think it's because just the general glassiness of other Pokemon in this Great League, right? When you don't have a ton of bulk in the Great League, this added shadow bonus, like damage, does a lot more than it would in the Ultra League. So having something like Poison Jab, Poison Fang, which lowers your defense, just allows Nidoqueen to dominate in a lot of matchups. So let's go through the meta. Its weaknesses are Psychic for the most part, Ground is a big one, Ice, Water. So it's got a lot of weaknesses, but you're going to see here, for the most part, like lots of wins. Like you flip the Cofagrigus matchup with the Shadow there, but Diggersby is a ground, Frostlass as an ice is a loss, Jelson is close because it's a ghost you can only throw. Medicham, again, you flip in the Shadow, so that's why I kind of like Shadow. But for the most part, the Shadow, the Poison Jab, Poison Fang is just going to do tons of damage. Um, and then you lose, I guess, some bulk on the Sableye matchup because the Shadow Claw is just such a strong move. And then you got the hard losses, like you have nothing to throw at the Skarmory. Galarian Stunfisk is going to outspam you. Swampert's just a hard loss. And so these are where you need to focus on right here, because these are very, very big like losses. Stunfisk 106, Swampert 172, Skarmory 172. So when I'm team building against this meta, those are the Pokemon that I'm thinking about team building against. Uh, Walrein as an ice is another one that you think about team building against. So 31 and 15 makes this a beast in the Great League. So how do you build around it? So like I said, you got to cover all those weaknesses. So the first, I have two teams here because I want to start trying to do this too, is just starting to do like multiple teams for you guys. But for number one here, if I can bring it up, where is my battles? Right here. I think I still got two open. That's why one is not coming up. Sorry. So basically in this first example, this is a balanced team. Cover your weaknesses in the back. So again, you got a psychic weakness, you got a ground weakness. So I'm covering that one with Swampert. So it's basically covering Swampert's. I'm covering Swampert. The weakness, ice, you can do okay against there. So Swampert covers that, and then Safe Swap is Greedent. And then the second matchup, same sort of concept. Sableye in to cover your sort of ghosts that you resist. And that's why Greedent both do well against Ghost. And then the Walrein in the back as well, just as a spammy option for all the other Pokemon that are just same typing or like waters resist there. So in this matchup, in the Trevenant matchup, I always am willing to shield the one because you win in the one shield if you just shield one, Poison Fang right away, and then just Poison Jab down. And then you come out with a bunch of energy, and they come in with an Azu, so this is looking really good. The thing about the Azu matchup is that they're hitting super effective too, but if you can just Poison Fang, you're just going to add up real quick here. And there's not much they can do here. They're going to need to start shielding, but at this point the damage is done. I'm 1.5 down. Come in with Greedent as an amazing answer because I can start loading up on energy here. They switch into Ninetales, and I'm going to throw this right away because I don't expect them to shield, but now they probably just put themselves in Shadow Hydro Cannon range. And that's why, because one Hydro is not going to take it out, but I'm not even using my Shadow one here. But a Hydro after Body Slam will take it out. And so I'm going to shield this because I know I can just chip this a bunch, and the Azu is already super low, and Greedent is super tanky. that I have no problem taking out the Azu with the Greedent. So this is the balanced approach sort of team here. I think they go for the full farm and I get a Sludge off anyways. Yeah, so the spam is Swampert. I've already showed Swampert in this meta, how strong it is. And this next team, same sort of concept. Nidoqueen lead, Sableye safe swap if you get into something tough here, which I do not. And then Walrein in the back. So they come in with Lick Tongue. I'm definitely going to Poison Fang this. And then I need to figure out what I want to do here. Because this Lick Tongue is actually a little tricky because I'm going to come Sableye. Yeah. So the reason I come Sableye is even though the Shadow Claws are double resisted, because I already lowered their defense once, I think that's within pretty close to foul play range, and they can't throw body slams at me. They can only throw non-stab. Plus, it's also useless. I don't mind, like, even if I lose here, which I hope I don't, so I'm going to grab a shield here, which is good. Even if I lost there, I could still do okay with the Walrein on the Ninetales here. I just did not want this Sableye to see the Ninetales, which is why I came in there. They switch immediately. I did not let my switch clock go up, so that was real dumb on my part. I'm just going to go, I'm definitely going to shield because it could be an earthquake. It's just a fire punch bait, so that's fine. So I can bank it because now I can come in here. I got a good matchup here. And same sort of thing, absorb a bunch of energy. Nidoqueen is a little glassy, and that's why I'm going to use a team bulk later. It's a little glassy, but you're just getting a ton of quick, hard damage off. So that's why I'm kind of building it with a little tankier Pokemon. Swampert's obviously not super tanky, but that's why I kind of use the non-shadow in this one, just because I needed a little more bulk. And then firing off these, they're going to try and bank that. So good idea there. Can I get to the move? I can, which is great because now it puts it within probably farm down range. That I can come out with an Earth Power. And CMP, so that is amazing. So now it's definitely in farm down range, and I will come out with multiple Earth Powers almost. So get the one off. Diggersby is already at half health, so how much does a Earth Power from Shadow do? Just about. They have a move, but I have a shield, and I will get to the poison. Just poison jab down here for the win. So that is team number one. Again, balanced team works in this. But let's go to team number two, because team number two is... no, I don't want to get rid of Nidoqueen, but Nidoqueen Double Dark was an oldie and a goodie. So Nidoqueen Double Dark, call it the Vergiverg Special, has been in the meta forever. Why it's lost momentum is because it used to be Umbreon, because everyone had Umbreon. So it used to be Nidoqueen, Umbreon, Scrafty. You draw out usually Azu with your Umbreon, throw some last resorts, come back in with Nidoqueen, and then Scrafty will roam free. Why it's lost some of its edge, I think it comes down to more people having, well, Registeals first. Like you can get a Registeel and an Umbreon, you're just in trouble, right? And then I think the other reason is because Medicham and Deox, even though they're both weak, even though Deox is weak to dark, Medicham is neutral. Just like having a lot more in play allows you to just have a bunch of counters through there that just does a lot of damage because they're both pretty bulky. And then what else gets taken out? Like A9 Tails is more relevant, is prevalent now. So that kind of limits Umbreon's play a bit. And Umbreon just like, there's too many counter users and this the Focus Blast from Registeel again. So if I'm running this team, I'm running it with Drapion as the safe swap because it is a pretty solid safe swap in terms of being able to somewhat deal with fighters, right? So this is a prime example right here. I have a Surfetch come in, which against an Umbreon would just like light me up. But because I already spammed and so many, so got in here, so 1, 2, so they're basically halfway to my third one. I'm now to Sludge, and Surfetch is real glassy here. So if I remember, they let this go, and goodbye, Shadow Drapion just one-shots and flip, which you cannot do with the Umbreon. So I just find that Drapion has a lot more wiggle room compared to Umbreon right now in this meta, which is why I'd use Drapion as a safe swap in this. And why Double Dark also works, why this team works, is you essentially, I should have thrown earlier, that was really dumb on my part. I can just come in and counter though, so this will give me a huge advantage, counter up, Maybe shield once because I don't know what's in the back, but just start ramping up. Scrafty ramped up is pretty tough to deal with. Metachamp, and okay. So I got Nidoqueen for the Metachamp. So that's why you could draw it like a Metachamp too. In the middle, they came Surfetch, double counter user, right? So double counter against double dark is not amazing. That's why Drapeon's a pretty good safe swap. But yeah, so Scrafty ramped up pretty good in the back. You've got to try and draw out some sort of fighter. Like that's the main point. Drapion against fighters takes neutral because you're half poison, so that's what makes it great. And then Nidoqueen's just going to ramp up here again. Not ramp up, kind of ramp down, I guess, the Metacham. And they come in Scrafty in this game. Like time this game's over. So Nidoqueen is Malmar, so that's a brutal lead for me because it's half psychic, half dark. So I can come in here, and they're not getting out. They do catch on their own Drapion, so good catch. Because if you're in this scenario, I think you want to go double sludge because one crunch does not do enough. So now I'm in 3 crunch range, but 2 sludges usually is enough. So I'm going, because they already caught 1, I can just go double crunch here for the rest of it. Defense fall, not that it matters. I can survive 1 move. I know that much. They do throw the sludge, which means again, I'm in probably at this point crunch because I'm a shadow. But I will grab a second shield here. They may let it go. I was about to say they may shield. No, they may shield and get a hit on energy. I may let this go because I can come in with Nidoqueen and start farming and take a crunch, and then Scrafty against. I think I may let this go because I need to stay sealed for Scrafty because Scrafty can throw super effective foul plays. Or wait, neutral foul plays? I guess neutral because it's half dark. But I have to save for superpowers. So I let this go. I'm riding Scrafty here. Because it's half dark, these counters are doing neutral. I gotta shield because it could be a superpower, and I do not want to take a superpower here. That's fine. So it is a superpower, and out comes the Walrein. There we go. Scrafty loves seeing Walrein. So why this team also works is because there's a lot of Walreins, Trevenants, Registeals, right? So you have multiple answers for all those Pokemon here. And Scrafty's ramping up here. Not even going to bother throwing or shielding this because 1 move is not going to take me out here, but a superpower definitely will take me out. So I will just eat that move. And at this point, I'm 2 times ramped up and it's taking neutral from counters. So again, Scrafty ramped up. It's kind of like Lucario or Metachamp. Anytime these Power Punch Pokemon get ramped up, you're in trouble. So able to ramp up, get to his another Power Punch for the win here. So double dark still works. Again, I wouldn't use Umbreon. I would try to use Drapion as an answer there. And then the third team, my team bulk, I use Sableye, Deox, same sort of answer, right? You're going to be weak to, so terrible lead, not terrible lead, but have an answer here. Walrein is tough for Sableye, so I lost lead. I didn't lose lead. I probably could have stayed in there. But I'm definitely lost switch here because they're going to get to 2 moves here. But I can fake a return here and they may shield. And I do grab a shield here and hopefully just do some chip damage here, which is nice. So that's all. Like that's what I want to do if your Sableye runs into a Walrein there is fake the return, hope to grab a shield, do some chip damage with foul play, and then go down here. That's fine. And then I'm going to come in Deox. Oh, I had my Deox lead. Is that what I was leading? Yeah, I think I was Deox lead. That was the problem. On Trevenants, that was a bad lead, bad swap there. But getting ahead on energy, I can take a move. Again, I'll save my shields for Nidoqueen here. I'm going to throw the Psycho Boost because it's still going to do some chip damage, right? And they're already down a shield, so they're probably not going to use a second one. Good chip damage. Come in here, Scrafty in the back. This game is basically over unless I mess up this foul play, which I remember doing one of these, letting a foul play go and then getting smacked with it. Because I thought they were going to bait here because I had 2 shields. Is this the one? So I'm like, I have 2 shields. They're going to bait for sure. Oh, so the other way around. I remember one, I had 2 shields. I'm like, they're going to bait for sure. And they threw a foul play. But ramped up. Now they're going to be at foul play. So I have to shield this next one up. That's fine. Shield it up. Still got some energy. Going to take this out. Trevenant is a little low. That, again, this added shadow. It's not going to take it out, but it's going to put them in range that they're going to have to throw here, else I'm going to take them out. So CMP there, good. And now I can counter down because I lowered their defense, even though it's a ghost. So counter down before they get to me. So tough lead, tough switch. Nidoqueen in the back was good. Mandibuzz, another tough lead. The problem with Mandibuzz is I kind of have to stay in here because I tried Nidoqueen as a safe swap a couple times to try and say like, hey, maybe a Nidoqueen safe swap team works. The problem is Swampert, and you can get off an Earth Power, but a Swampert that just can get a ton of energy advantage and take you out quite easily, like or Galarian Stunfisk or Skarmory, right? There's too many Pokemon that you just lose way too hard to. And that's not what you want in a safe swap, which is why I would not use Nidoqueen as a safe swap, is because you can just get destroyed in the mid game there, and then you're kind of just done. So if I'm running, and then here's the Swampert, right? So I'm already in trouble here. I can throw this. They're likely to shield because they're expecting it. They do not shield, so that actually gives me an opportunity. But Reggie in the back, not happening. Mandibuzz, Reggie, Swampert, tough alignment for this team, especially in the order that I'm seeing everything here. So they are going to take this matchup. I can tell. I can tell right now. There's like no win condition here when you lose the lead and don't really have an answer. And yeah, but uh, so let me know because when I use team bulks like this, so I gave two examples in the first of balanced teams at work, but I'm just doing like one here and one for double dark. Let me know in the comments below whether you want me to try and showcase like multiple balanced team, multiple bulk teams. The problem is like I'm limited on Pokemon, right? So you're gonna be seeing a lot of the same bulky Pokemon through. Like there really is like a set of 5 or 6 safe swaps that you should be using constantly. Sableye, Greedent, Drapion. I use Vigoroth. Sorry, Vigoroth. What else is a good safe swap? Lickitung, right? Bulky safe swaps that don't have super hard losses can do some damage, can flip some matchups, right? So those are gonna be all those. Bulk Pokemon. Think anything level 50. Metachamp, Sableye, think your Walreins, think your Deoxys, Cress, right? So there's such not limited Pokemon, but it's so many meta Pokemon which fit uh, the role of safe swap and the role of bulk and the role of like closer. So let me know if you still want me to do like multiple teams within like those broader categories. That is it. So that is Nidoqueen in a nutshell. Super strong in the meta. I'm wondering if Poison Jab, Poison Fang eventually gets a nerf because I think they buffed it too much uh, to now being like 31-15 is an insane record in the Great League. So that is it. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow is a new cup, so I will go over rankings and teams for that. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.